Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Day 2 of the Inclusion, Mobility, and Multilingual Education Conference. Before we start the second plenary session, I would like to make a few announcements. There have been several changes in the original program, so please see the printout posted on the door. There will be daily programs posted in the hallway and the foyer. You can also check online for the most recent version. Next, funded participants, meaning if the conference organizer has provided you with the flight tickets, accommodation, and/or the registration fee, please see Ayin at the registration desk and bring your boarding pass to sign in. You will need to prove your attendance by signing in daily after lunch. Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second plenary session. This session will be moderated by Mr. Francisco Benavides from the UNICEF East Asia and Pacific Regional Office, EPRO. The stage is yours.
Sawadee krap. Good morning. Buenos dias. Thank you so much for being here on time. Thank you for coming to the second day. And for me, it's a real honor to be at this session. I'm working UNICEF Regional Office. And as you know, yesterday we have some keynote speakers framing the discussion around mobility, inclusion, and multilingual education. And when we present this to my director, I said, listen, this is what we are going to discuss. She said, wow, this is brave. In this time, talking about mobility and inclusion and multilingual education, this is interesting. So I said, yes, it is. So you should come to see what are the parts of the discussion. So we'll see how she says that, how she sees that tomorrow. But just to say that for UNICEF, this is a very important event. And for me, what I heard yesterday is some critical insights into what is the policy design, the complexity around language and inclusion, and the softening of some linguistic boundaries. That was in the plenary. And then during the parallel sessions, we all dove into fascinating successes and evidence around the world based on specific programs, research, and policies around mobility, inclusion, and multilingual education. But what I also heard was some of the challenges and some of the pending agenda that was addressed in the different discussions. So for me, this morning it's a great honor to introduce two of the most impressive speakers and most experienced partners in this agenda and in this fight for multilingual education around the world. The session will be structured as follows. I will introduce one of the speakers first. He will have 30 minutes to present the case of Cambodia, then 30 minutes for the second speaker that I will introduce in a minute, and then we will open the discussion for questions and answers. So my request will be, let's put attention, let's look at what are the critical factors that will be presented to us. Please take note of your questions. We have Twitter account too, and if you have a specific question that you really want to share while we are speaking, use the Twitter account. And if not, keep it to the end where we will have some space for questions. Is this clear? Is my English, Spanglish good enough to explain? Okay. So let me start by introducing the first of the speakers. It is my honor to present His Excellency Dr. Nhat Boon Ruen, Secretary of State of the Ministry of Education, Youth and Sports in Cambodia. His Excellency Dr. Nhat has decades of extensive experience in education in his country and beyond. Since obtaining his doctorate, he has published many important articles, and he's currently a member of the National Khmer Language Council and the Royal Academy of Cambodia. He sat on the governing board of two SEMIO centers during a period of 9 years, contributing to the education agenda of all Southeast Asia. He has and continues to lead many critical education reforms in Cambodia and acts as SDG coordinator for Cambodia. But probably perhaps the most important thing that I should highlight of His Excellency is that he is a real champion of education and multilingual education. He's a friend. He's a real voice in our region on multilingual education. So let me start here, and let's give the floor to Dr. Nat so that he can introduce himself in his presentation. Dr. Nat, please.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am very pleased to join you today, and I would like to share Cambodia's experience in case of multilingual education, which is the key pillar of our commitment to providing inclusive education for all children in our countries. Before I proceed with my remarks, I would like to pause for a few minutes so that you can hear directly from Cambodia's Minister of Education, Youth and Sport on the importance of the multilingual education program, and to hear as well from one of our multilingual education programs, and to hear from the impact of his work on indigenous ethnic minority students. Please enjoy.
Inclusive education enables the ethnic minority children to learn, to master their own language, to appreciate their own culture, their own custom, and use that as a bridge to learn Khmer, to get good education, and also to enable them to get good job, to fully integrate into the mainstream of the society. Secondly, the cultural diversity is beautiful. The culture and the custom of the ethnic minority enrich the Cambodian culture. Number three is the right to education. Those children should have the right to education. Without the multilingual education, many children would be excluded from education. So at present, we have more than 5,000 ethnic minority students in the primary school who attend 80 schools in 5 provinces, in 5 languages. The lesson learned from the evaluation is that we should have a multilingual education action plan. Number 2 is the cooperation. So the principle of cooperation is really very important, and the cooperation between the ministry, the state schools, the teachers, with the international NGOs such as CARE and other, which provide the technical support and advice, and also the cooperation with the UN agency that also provide technical support and initially financial support to run those programs. Second is the ownership of the ministry. Ownership and sustainability enable the ministry to integrate 80 community schools into the state system, and those schools get the budget, and the teacher become the state teachers on the government payroll, and that enable them to deliver the program in a sustainable manner. And last but not least, teacher training. a good quality teacher and for the program to be run successfully. And that's why in the future we must integrate the teacher training into the provincial teacher training center and multilingual education teacher training can be delivered in a systematic way, and the curriculum would allow the teacher to have a broad knowledge of both ethnic minority culture and so also of the foundation of the education.
ខ្ញុំឈ្មោះជាឡាចជាជនជាតិក្រឹង សប្តាហ៍នេះខ្ញុំជាគ្រូបង្រៀននៅសាលាបឋមសិក្សាភូមិក្រែះ ថ្ងៃនេះខ្ញុំបង្រៀនថ្នាក់ទី1និងទី2ហើយប្រកបទាំងអស់ជាជនជាតិក្រឹង បានជាខ្ញុំខ្លាចជាគ្រូបង្រៀនម្នាក់ដោយសារមានកត្តាជំជ្រេញពីពុកម្ដាយពីបងប្អូនហើយបានជាខ្ញុំបង្រៀនអំពីព្រោះភាសាដោយសារខ្ញុំគិតថាទី1គឺខ្ញុំជាជនជាតិដើមភាគតិចស្រាប់ហើយទី2គឺមិនអោយបាត់បង់ប្រពៃណីនិងវប្បធម៌ជាដើមភាគតិច ខ្ញុំសប្បាយចិត្តពេលគ្រូបង្រៀនភាសាក្រឹងពីព្រោះខ្ញុំងាយស្ដាប់បានហើយខ្ញុំឆាប់ចេះ ចាដើម្បីឲ្យសិស្សមានការចាប់អារម្មណ៍ក្នុងការរៀនទី1គឺមានការមានវិធីសាស្ត្រដូចជាលេងហ្គេមធ្វើតាមសត្វហើយទី2នាំសិស្សទៅមើលសត្វជ្រូកសត្វមាន់សត្វទាក្នុងភូមិហើយទី3ទៀតគឺនាំសិស្សទៅមើលគេត្បាញកប្បាផ្ទាល់ការនាំសិស្សទៅមើលការត្បាញកប្បាគឺទី1កុំឲ្យសិស្សបាត់បង់នៅវប្បធម៌ប្រពៃណីទី2ធ្វើឲ្យសិស្សមានការសប្បាយរីករាយហើយចូលចិត្តក្នុងការរៀនចាគ្រូពេលខ្លះក៏ឆ្លៀតបើសិនជាមានពេលក៏ឆ្លៀតទៅចកាUNICEF ក៏បានជួយបណ្ដុះបណ្ដាលខាងនេះខ្ញុំផ្ទាល់ដូចជាមានវគ្គបំពន់វិធីសាស្ត្របង្រៀននិងរៀនអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំគិតថាកត្តាហ្នឹងគឺវាមានផលប្រយោជន៍ច្រើនហើយកាលណាយើងមានចំណេះដឹងថ្មីហើយចំណេះដឹងនេះយកទៅប្រើប្រាស់ដើម្បីបង្រៀនសិស្សអ្វីដែលថ្មីអ្វីដែលប្លែកធ្វើឲ្យសិស្សហ្នឹងចូលចិត្តហើយការបោះបង់វាមានចំនួន
Thank you very much. Now I'm trying to proceed my presentation and sharing with you why Cambodia has embarked on the implementation of multilingual education. Further, the Minister of Education remarks, I would like to explain why Cambodia has embarked on implementing a multilingual education program. Firstly, the ministry acknowledges that all children have the right to a quality education. And as part of this commitment, children from indigenous ethnic minority groups need to have access to inclusive and equitable quality education. The ethnic minority children to learn in their mother tongue as a bridge to learning the national language and to thereafter engage in lifelong learning opportunities. Secondly, the ministry also views multilingual education as a way to promote cultural diversity. Multilingual education encourages the preservation of ethnic minority languages and cultures because the preservation of ethnic minority language and culture is built on the values of ethnic minorities people with respect to the primacy of their languages, cultures, traditions, and customs. Successes and lessons to share. I would like to take this opportunity to reflect on the best practice, lesson learned of the multilingual education program in Cambodia and on the lesson we have learned in implementing the program. Presently, the ministry is implementing the multilingual education program in 5 languages in preschool and primary school, grades 1 to 3. We have over 200 teachers delivering multilingual education in 80 primary schools to nearly 5,000 students. The successes of the program have depended on active involvement and good cooperation between ethnic minority communities and education stakeholders, along with the integration of the program into the government school system to ensure its sustainability. At the initial pilot phase, a close cooperation between ministry and development partners is very, very important on both technical and financial support to assist with institutionalizing the program, including to embed the program into the ministry's own education strategic plan as a priority education delivery strategy. With continued prioritization of ministry financial resources, including in providing salaries for multilingual education teachers and school operating grants to multilingual education schools, the program has progressively expanded in the northeastern provinces since its inception in 2003. The formulation and implementation of the Multilingual Education National Action Plan from 2015 and 2018 with clear target, roles, and responsibilities have provided a foundation for the ministry to prepare a second medium-term plan to guide further expansion of the program. The leadership and ownership of the multilingual education program by the ministry has played a crucial role in the operation of efforts to support the expansion of the program, including the number of children to be reached and the expansion in the number of instructional languages. I would like to share several key successes that were identified as part of our recent evaluation of the program. First, the program has had a significant and positive impact in recognizing the values of ethnic minority people, including their languages, culture, traditions, customs, and ways of life. Second, the Ministry, in cooperation with development partners and other stakeholders, has established strong partnership, institutionalized, international, national, and subnational level. Third, the Ministry has taken strong leadership and ownership of the program since its initial stages and has progressively institutionalized in the program into the state system. Fourth, to ensure quality, the Ministry has continued to work consistently to engage ethnic minority communities and relevant stakeholders at all levels, as well as to continuously seek technical support and assistance for the professional development and key implementers, including teachers, teacher trainees, and relevant education officers. Fifth, the Ministry has contributed to improving the capacity, ability, skills, knowledge, and expertise of education stakeholders, including ministry staff, multilingual education teachers, and communities, to ensure ethnic minority girls and boys continue to receive relevant education. And finally, the multilingual education program in Cambodia can serve as an example and inspiration for governments in Southeast Asia and around the world as a way of reaching hard-to-reach groups and in ensuring the equitable and inclusive delivery of education to marginalized children. Evidence from this program can also contribute to the body of research internationally that multilingual education benefits ethnic minority children and girls in particular. How the multilingual education program contributes to Cambodia's sustainable development goals. I would like to turn now to examining how multilingual education is contributing to Cambodia's national human resource development agenda, including in support of sustainable development goal attainment. Before I discuss the SDGs specifically, it is important to spend some time reflecting on the number of global declarations in convention that affirm the rights of indigenous and ethnic minority children to an education that is provided in their first language. The UN Declaration of Education that is provided in their first language. The UN Declaration of Human Rights, the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, and the Dakar Framework for Action 2000, Senegal, which affirms the principle of education for all support this principle. Furthermore, the Royal Government of Cambodia has reaffirmed its commitment to this global declaration and convention through the Constitution of the Kingdom of Cambodia, the education law, the national policy on the development of indigenous peoples, and through important education sector-specific strategies and plans, such as the Education Strategic Plan 2019-2023 and the Multilingual Education Action Plan 2019-2023. For the next 5 years,